Part 1. The Echo of Stars. In the endless void between galaxies, a lone vessel drifted, its sleek hull swallowed by the vast darkness. The ship, the Vanguard Horizon, was an epitome of human engineering, an explorer of the cosmos cursed with the solitude of infinity. Inside, Captain Elias Thorn sat at the helm, his eyes scanning the myriad displays flickering with data of the unknown. Stars whispered their ancient secrets as the ship's engines purred softly, a lullaby of machinery. Elias was alone, save for the company of his ship's AI, Lyra, her voice a calming presence that echoed throughout the barren corridors. "Captain's voice chimed, a gentle intrusion into his thoughts. "We have detected an anomaly in Sector Alpha Q." Elias straightened, his curiosity piqued. "Define anomaly," he replied, his tone steady yet edged with intrigue. Lyra paused, calculating. "It appears to be a gravitational distortion consistent with a large mass, but it doesn't correspond to any known celestial body." Elias frowned, the thrill of discovery igniting within him. "Let's check it out." The Vanguard Horizon adjusted its course, the stars outside blurring into streaks of light as the ship accelerated towards the anomaly. Elias felt the familiar pull of anticipation, the promise of the unknown beckoning him like a siren's call. The ship slowed as it neared its destination. Through the viewport, Elias could see it, a swirling mass of energy, pulsating with an unearthly glow. It was neither planet nor star, a phenomenon that defied the laws of nature. "Lyra, analyze." Sensors hummed. "It is a spatial rift, Captain. Its origin is artificial, but the technology is beyond current human comprehension." Elias's heart thudded in his chest. Could it be alien? "The likelihood is high," Lyra affirmed. A chill passed through him. The thought of encountering life beyond Earth was exhilarating, yet filled with uncertainty. Debate raged within him. To approach was to risk the unknown, but to turn away was to abandon a chance that might never come again. "Let's get closer," Elias decided. The ship edged forward, instruments buzzing with energy as they probed the rift. As they neared, the ship shuddered, caught in the rift's gravity like a fish in a net. Elias gripped the controls, battling against the pull. "Warning," Lyra stated. "The pull is intensifying." Elias had a choice. Risk everything to uncover the rift's secrets or retreat to safety. His mind raced. His heart pounded with the thrill of discovery, the fear of oblivion. "Engage thrusters," he commanded, pushing forward, deeper into the swirl of the unknown. The ship was consumed by the rift's light. Time twisted and stretched, a river with no beginning or end. Memories flickered through Elias's mind, echoes of a life spent chasing stars, driven by the compulsion to understand. And then, silence. The ship emerged on the other side, systems flickering back to life. Outside, a world sprawled before them, a planet cloaked in a luminescent atmosphere, shimmering with colors unseen. Elias blinked at the vision before him, a landscape of awe-inspiring alien architecture stretching towards a sky alive with energy. "Where are we?" he whispered, more to himself than to Lyra. "The coordinates no longer match our star charts, Captain. We have crossed into another dimension." Elias's breath caught. He was a pioneer in a realm beyond dreams. Yet the euphoria of discovery was tempered by the chilling reality of their situation. They were cut off from home, adrift in a universe beyond understanding. "Scan for life forms," he ordered, galvanizing himself into action. As Lyra complied, Elias's mind churned with possibilities and fears. What intelligence had created the rift? What purpose did it serve? And most pressingly, would they find a way back? The ship's sensors pinged, displaying a cluster of signals. Life was abundant here, teeming with energy. Elias's heart quickened, a mix of dread and exhilaration. "Captain," Lyra intoned, "a structure to the north resembles a hub of advanced technology. It may provide answers." Elias nodded, determination settling in. He set the ship on course for the structure, its silhouette a beacon in this alien world. As they drew near, the architecture revealed itself, a sprawling complex of crystalline towers pulsating with an inner luminescence. The air was electric with energy, each nuanced vibration resonating through Elias like a song he could almost understand. Elias disembarked, stepping onto alien soil. He was acutely aware of the immensity of the moment. The sheer weight of being the first of his kind to tread this ground. He inhaled deeply, the air rich with unfamiliar scents, life thrumming in every particle. Ahead, an entrance loomed, an invitation and a challenge. As Elias approached, the doors slid open soundlessly, revealing a cavernous hall. The inside was alive with light, patterns of energy crisscrossing the walls in a mesmerizing dance. "Hello," he called, his voice echoing in the emptiness. For a moment, there was only silence. Then a whisper reached him, a tapestry of tones woven into a greeting. It was the language of the stars, cryptic and beautiful. Elias paused, his mind straining to decode the message. Was it a welcome, a warning? The implications were staggering. "We come in peace," he tried again, speaking slowly, hoping his intentions would transcend words. The whispers intensified, swirling around him. Images flashed in his mind. Visions of worlds, stars, and infinite pathways. He felt a presence, an intelligence, reaching out to him. And with it, an understanding unfolded. The rift was a conduit, a bridge between dimensions crafted by a race long vanished, leaving only echoes of their existence. They had harnessed the laws of time and space, their legacy a testament to an intellect beyond human grasp. Elias's heart swelled with wonder, yet a deeper question gnawed at him. Why had they gone, leaving such power untended? The answer came, not in words, but in a rush of clarity. A choice faced him, stark and irreversible. The rift could be used to uncover secrets that could elevate humanity to gods or bring ruin upon all existence. "Captain," his voice broke through his thoughts, grounding him once more. "The power readings are escalating. We must decide quickly." Elias stood at the precipice of destiny, a solitary figure in a universe of choices. To act was to alter the course of history. To hesitate was to surrender to fate. His decision weighed heavy, an anchor in the storm of possibilities. With a deep breath, Elias made his choice. He reached out, touching the heart of the structure, feeling the pulse of the stars racing through his veins. The light intensified, a crescendo of energy that flooded his senses. In that moment, Elias Thorn ceased to be merely human. He became the echo of stars, a bridge to the infinite. The universe unfolded before him, a tapestry woven from threads of light and shadow, and with it, the understanding that some choices are eternal, resonating across the cosmos, shaping the fabric of reality itself. As the light faded, Elias stood in the silence, transformed. The path forward was uncertain, yet full of possibility. For in the heart of the unknown, he had found not just answers, but the courage to ask new questions. And with that, the journey began anew. Part 2. the Nexus of worlds. The atmosphere shimmered around Elias as he emerged from the crystalline structure, his senses still reeling from the encounter. He carried with him a profound awareness, a bridge between realms that now whispered in the corners of his mind. The landscape seemed to pulse with a vibrancy he hadn't noticed before, as if it too recognized the change within him. Back aboard the Vanguard Horizon, Elias felt the silent hum of the ship's heart beneath his feet, a comforting reminder of the familiar amidst the extraordinary. The ship now felt like an extension of his very being, connected not just to the cosmos, but to the network of worlds that lay beyond the veil of reality. "Captain," Lyra spoke, her voice now tinged with an undercurrent of awe. "Your physiological readings have altered significantly. You've been affected by the energies of the Nexus." Elias nodded, acknowledging the transformation that set his skin tingling with a subtle energy. "I can feel it, Lyra. It's as if everything's alive, interconnected." His mind buzzed with visions, not just of their own dimension, but countless others, each a tapestry of potential and peril. He realized the enormity of the responsibility he had assumed, the power to navigate these realms, a double-edged sword. "Any sign of a way back?" Elias inquired, a hint of longing slipping into his voice. Lyra processed data, her circuits humming with the task. "There is a faint signal, an echo of our own dimension. It seems to originate from the heart of this world." Elias exhaled slowly, the prospect of home both a beacon and a burden. "Then that's where we'll go." The Vanguard Horizon soared over alien landscapes, past fields of luminescent flora and rivers of liquid light. Each vista was a symphony of colors, a living canvas that defied earthly comprehension. As they approached the source of the signal, the terrain shifted, giving way to a colossal structure rising from the planet's core. It was an ancient temple, its stone walls etched with symbols that glowed with an inner fire. Elias felt drawn to it, the architecture resonating with the same energy now coursing through him. As the ship descended, he prepared for the journey within, each step echoing with the promise of revelation. The temple's entrance loomed, an imposing archway that seemed to pulse with consciousness. As Elias stepped inside, the air thickened, charged with the weight of countless histories. "Stay alert, Lyra," he whispered, his voice barely a breath in the vastness. "We're not alone here." The halls were a maze of light and shadow, each turn revealing new mysteries. Echoes enveloped him, a chorus of voices from beyond time. They were not malevolent, but curious, welcoming him as a traveler among stars. Ahead, the chamber opened into a vast expanse, its ceiling a dome of swirling galaxies. At the center stood a pedestal, intricate and ancient, glowing with a familiar energy. Elias approached, drawn to it as a moth to flame. The pedestal hummed, vibrating under his touch. It was a conduit, linking the worlds through threads of light. Elias felt his mind expand, reaching beyond the confines of his own understanding. Images cascaded, stars being born, worlds interwoven with fate, and paths where time itself was a malleable stream. Yet amid these wonders lay a shadow, a darkness that sought to unravel the tapestry. Elias sensed it lurking, a force of chaos threatening to sever the delicate balance. "This is it," Elias murmured, recognizing the rift's true purpose. It was not merely a bridge, but a guardian, sustaining the equilibrium between dimensions. As he stood, immersed in the ebb and flow of cosmic currents, a voice touched his mind, lucid and sharp. "You are the keeper." Elias startled, the words reverberating through his consciousness. "Who are you?" he demanded, his voice firm with the need to understand. "We are the architects," the voice replied, its tone a blend of many, a symphony of minds. "We forged the Nexus to protect against the unraveling, a force that seeks to consume the multiverse." Elias felt the weight of their message, the enormity of his role settling upon him. He was a sentinel at the threshold, tasked with safeguarding the balance. "But why me?" he questioned, grappling with newfound responsibility. "Why now?" The voices swirled, offering a vision, a lineage of keepers, each chosen at pivotal moments in history, linked by a thread of destiny. Elias was merely the latest in this continuum, a guardian for an era on the brink. "You are the bridge," the architects declared, their presence fading into the echoes. "Guide the path and preserve the harmony." With their departure, silence enveloped the chamber. Elias stood alone, a solitary figure bathed in the glow of the cosmos. The task ahead loomed vast, yet he felt prepared, bolstered by the legacies of those who came before. Returning to the vanguard horizon, his purpose was clear. The signal to their dimension awaited activation, a lifeline to the familiar. Yet the journey there would be fraught with challenges, not least the lurking shadow of the unraveling. "Lyra," Elias spoke, a new resolve in his tone. "Prepare the ship for departure. We have a destiny to fulfill." Lyra acknowledged, her systems alive with renewed vigor. "Course plotted, Captain. Ready when you are." As the ship rose from the temple's shadow, Elias cast a final glance at the world he was leaving behind. The path ahead was uncertain, but it was his to shape, the threads of infinite worlds woven into his very being. And with a whisper of starlight, the vanguard horizon soared into the unknown, a beacon of hope and courage amid the chaos of the cosmos. Part 3. Guardians of the Multiverse. The vanguard horizon plunged through the vibrant tapestry of dimensions, each swirl of color a flash of worlds untold. Elias sat at the helm, fingers deftly controlling the ship's trajectory as they navigated the complex web of space-time. The Nexus had bestowed upon him the knowledge needed to traverse the multiverse, but the enormity of his role weighed heavily on his shoulders. "Captain," cooed, her voice a steady anchor amidst the maelstrom. "We are closing in on the signal's origin. It appears to breach into our home dimension." Elias's heart leapt with the thought of returning, but with it came the dread of the unraveling, the dark force threatening to tear the fabric of reality. The ship broke through to a new sector, the view before them a kaleidoscope of starlit expanses. Yet the sight was marred by fissures in space, like cracks in a fragile pane of glass. Elias felt the ominous weight of their presence, each fracture a testament to the growing instability. Suddenly, the console bleeped, interrupting his thoughts. A distress signal, garbled yet persistent, echoed through the comms. "Elias, do you hear that?" The voice crackled, familiar yet unexpected. It was Captain Mira Voss, a fellow explorer believed lost in the depths of space. "Mira?" Elias breathed, hope and disbelief mingling. "How is this possible?" Lyra parsed the signal, her circuits buzzing with activity. "Their ship is trapped within a collapsing rift, Captain. Its coordinates intersect with the unraveling's origin." Elias's mind raced. If Mira's vessel was caught in the maelstrom, it could provide crucial insight into the nature of the unraveling, but rescuing her would mean diving into the heart of chaos itself. "Set course for those coordinates, Lyra," Elias commanded, resolve cementing his decision. The ship banked sharply, engines roaring as they hurtled towards the anomaly. As they neared, the rift yawned like a cosmic maw, edges fraying and folding into nothingness. It was a sight both mesmerizing and terrifying. Within moments, the vanguard horizon was ensconced in the rift's embrace, reality warping into a surreal tempest of light and shadow. Elias steeled himself, focusing on the task at hand as the ship's systems strained against the forces at play. "Mira, hold on!" Elias shouted over the comms, his voice cutting through the dissonance. "We're coming to get you." The ship's sensors locked onto Mira's vessel, a fragile silhouette against the chaos. Elias maneuvered them closer, each motion precise, his concentration absolute. "Captain, the structural integrity of both ships is reaching critical levels," Lyra warned. "Impact imminent unless extraction is immediate." Elias executed a deft maneuver, aligning their airlocks. His heart raced, each second a lifetime as the ships connected with a resounding clunk. "Go, Mira! Now!" he urged, every fiber of his being focused on the fragile bond between their ships. Through the viewport, Elias saw figures scrambling across the threshold, Mira among them, her eyes wide with determination and fear. As the last crew member crossed over, the airlock sealed and the vanguard horizon lurched away, engines straining to escape the rift's grasp. With a final thrust, the ship burst free, the rift collapsing into oblivion behind them. The relief was palpable, a collective sigh of survival. Elias slumped back in his seat, exhaustion woven into his very bones. Yet an ember of satisfaction warmed him. They had rescued Mira, and with her, a sliver of hope to combat the unraveling. The ship settled into a stable orbit, the crew adjusting to their new reality. Elias found Mira in the observation chamber, staring out at the myriad stars. "Elias," she murmured, turning to face him, her expression a mix of gratitude and lingering disbelief. "I thought I'd never see home again." He nodded, understanding the gravity of her words. "We're not there yet," he replied, a thread of steel in his voice. "But with your help, we can find a way." Mira smiled, a fierce light igniting in her eyes. "Together, then. Let's unravel this mystery." As they stood, side by side, the weight of their mission settled upon them. The unraveling was a threat vast and relentless, but with allies, the path seemed navigable. The stars watched over them, eternal and silent, as the vanguard horizon turned towards the future, a vessel of hope in a sea of uncertainty. The threads of fate. The vanguard horizon sailed through the cosmic ocean, Elias and Mira hunched over projections of the multiverse, deciphering the interwoven paths that lay ahead. The ship was alive with purpose, the crew unified under the banner of a shared mission, to mend the fabric of reality before the unraveling could consume all. "These threads," Mira mused, tracing a finger across a glowing line of light, "they represent possible timelines, yet they all converge here." She pointed to a pulsating node, vibrant and foreboding. Elias nodded, eyes narrowing in concentration. "A nexus point," he concurred. "A convergence of choices and events. It's where the unraveling began." The realization struck them simultaneously. This was not merely a patch to be sewn, but a knot to be untangled. The past, present, and future spiraled into one, a dance of causality that would determine the fate of countless worlds. Lyra, Elias began, his voice carrying the weight of a decision made. Plot a course for the Nexus point. Systems hummed in acknowledgement, the ship altering its trajectory with a graceful arc towards destiny. As they traveled, the ship buzzed with activity. Mira and Elias pored over data, reconstructing the sequence of events that had led to the first rift. Each discovery was a thread in the grand tapestry, revealing patterns and connections that hinted at a deeper truth. "Mira," Elias said, breaking the silence, his eyes fixed on a particular fragment of data. "This isn't just a cosmological event. It's engineered." Mira's eyes widened. "Engineered? You mean someone or something orchestrated this?" Elias nodded, the revelation settling like a stone in his gut. "The rifts are a result of manipulation, a deliberate attempt to destabilize the multiverse." Their eyes met, the implications dawning on them as a new urgency fueled their resolve. Somewhere out there, an architect of chaos lurked, pulling at the strings of existence. The days blurred into one as they approached the Nexus. The ship's sensors tingled with anticipation, the air charged with potential energy. Soon they would reach the threshold, a moment that could tip the balance between creation and destruction. The vanguard horizon emerged into a realm unlike any other, a landscape where time flowed like a river through a canyon of stars. Here, everything was in flux, a kaleidoscope of moments waiting to be realized. At the heart of this swirling vortex stood a colossal edifice, its architecture ancient and otherworldly, cast from the very essence of the universe. It was a temple of time, the epicenter of the multiverse's beating heart. "That's our target," Elias said, a thread of determination woven into his voice. "Let's end this." They donned their suits, the hum of the airlock opening a prelude to the unknown. As they stepped onto the temple's surface, a chill permeated the air, a whisper of an intelligence watching, waiting. Inside, the temple was a labyrinth, corridors carved with symbols that glowed with a primordial light. Each step resonated through the structure, a symphony of echoes vibrating with the weight of ages. Elias and Mira moved as one, drawn towards the core. The architecture shifted around them, pathways unfurling like petals in bloom, guiding them to a chamber bathed in an ethereal glow. At its center stood an immense sphere, its surface a liquid tapestry of timelines interweaving and diverging. This was the heart of the Nexus, where the threads of fate were woven. "We need to stabilize it," Mira whispered, awe and fear mingling in her voice. "But how?" Elias approached the sphere, reaching out with the understanding granted by the Nexus. With a touch, he felt the rhythm of the multiverse, the dance of existence that was at once chaotic and ordered. "Together," he murmured, taking Mira's hand and placing it on the sphere beside his. The chamber brimmed with light, and within the sphere, the threads began to align, each weaving into the others to form a cohesive tapestry. The chaos receded, and a harmony emerged, delicate yet unwavering. But as order restored, a shadow detached from the walls, coalescing into a form both human and not. Its eyes glinted with malice, a being born of entropy itself. "Who dares to meddle?" it hissed, a voice like splintered glass. "I am the weaver of anarchy, the liberator of chaos." Elias and Mira stood firm, their connection to the sphere bolstering their resolve. "We won't let you," Elias declared, strength in every word. "This has to end." The weaver laughed, the sound a fracture in reality. "You are but mortals. The multiverse is my canvas, and I shall see it unravel. With a surge of energy, the Weaver attacked, waves of distortion rippling through the chamber. But Elias and Mira held fast, their combined will a bulwark against chaos. With a final act of defiance, Elias drew upon the sphere, channeling its power through him. Light burst forth, a beacon of creation that enveloped the Weaver, binding it within the weave it sought to destroy. The chamber settled, the light dimming to reveal a tapestry whole and unbroken. The Weaver, dispelled, faded into nothingness, its malice extinguished. Elias and Mira stood amidst the quiet, the weight of their victory a gentle burden. The multiverse was safe, for now, the paths of destiny open and waiting. Together, they returned to the vanguard horizon, their mission complete. As the ship set course, the cosmos stretched before them, a reminder of the enduring journey of exploration and guardianship. For the threads of fate were many, and in their hands they held the weave of worlds. Part 5 echoes across eternity. The vanguard horizon glided smoothly through the interstellar vastness, its hull aglow with the light of distant stars. Inside, a quietude settled over the crew, a moment of reflection amid the boundless tapestry of space. Elias and Mira sat in the observation chamber, the panorama of infinity stretching beyond the transparent walls, each point of light a testament to the mysteries they had encountered and those yet to be unveiled. "Do you think it's really over?" Mira asked, her gaze fixed on the cascade of stars, their radiance a comforting presence. Elias, thoughtful and steady, shook his head slightly. "We've won a battle," he replied, his voice thoughtful. "But the war is the nature of the multiverse itself. The Weaver is gone, but echoes of its influence linger." As if summoned by his words, the ship's consoles flared to life, alerts rippling through the interface. "Captain," Lyra interjected, her tone urgent but composed. "Sensors are detecting anomalies in several adjacent dimensions, residual disturbances, remnants of the Weaver's disruption." Elias and Mira exchanged a glance, the weight of their duty a familiar mantle. These disturbances were ripples in the fabric, each a potential catalyst for chaos if left unchecked. "We need to investigate," Elias decided, his resolve firm, ensure the stability of these realms. The ship altered course, engines humming with a sense of purpose as it traversed the cosmic web, guided by the threads of fate that now glowed as faint trails through the universe. Each anomaly beckoned with the promise of new challenges, the realm of their guardianship extending beyond the horizon. Their first destination was a world suspended in a twilight of perpetual eclipse, its surface a swirling ocean of whispering shadows. As they descended, the ship's systems hummed with the task of stabilizing the rift hovering above the planet, its edges frayed like a wound in the sky. Mira and Elias disembarked, setting foot on the surface, where the air hummed with an energy both ancient and restless. The shadows moved with intent, shapes flickering on the periphery like specters of forgotten histories. "We're not alone," Mira observed, her voice low, aware of the eyes unseen, yet watchful. Elias nodded, attuned to the silent dialogue of the place. "The planet is alive, aware of its own fracture." The rift pulsed overhead, a spectral wound through which the echoes of the Weaver's chaos seeped. To mend it, Elias understood, they would need to engage the planet itself, to coax its energies into harmony. Mira began to hum a tune, a melody that wove through the air like a thread of light. It was soothing, a lullaby drawn from the depths of memory and intuition. Elias joined, his voice a counterpoint, their harmony resonating with the land. The shadows quivered, a tide of motion responding to their song. The rift shimmered, its edges beginning to knit, drawn by the music into a dance with the planet itself. Suddenly, a presence emerged. A being of shadow and light, its form fluid and shifting, the embodiment of the planet's consciousness. Its gaze was both infinite and intimate, a question posed in silence. "Will you trust us?" Elias asked, his voice a gentle plea, "to heal what has been wounded." The entity regarded them, the depths of its gaze a mirror of the cosmos. Slowly it nodded, a ripple of assent that flowed through the landscape. Together, they worked to close the rift, their voices a harmonizing force that drew the threads of existence into alignment. As the tear sealed, the air hummed with a newfound peace, the shadows settling into a serene rhythm. Elias and Mira stood in silence, their task complete, the realm whole once more. The entity watched them with a warmth that transcended words, a bond forged in the healing of worlds. As they returned to the vanguard horizon, the echoes of their song lingered, a legacy of unity and transformation. The ship lifted off, propelled towards the next disturbance, the journey of guardianship unending. Each world awaited them with secrets to share, the echoes of eternity whispering in their ears. For Elias and Mira, the threads of fate were a tapestry of infinite possibilities, each strand a promise of adventure, understanding, and renewal. And so they flew, weaving their own destiny among the stars, the guardians of a multiverse forever in flux. Part 6. Tides of Destiny. The vanguard horizon surged onward through the boundless expanse, its navigational path a delicate weave through the cosmic labyrinth. Each pulse of its engines resonated with Elias's heartbeat, the rhythm of their quest an unending symphony of stars. Mira, at his side, embodied a presence both steadfast and inquisitive, her mind ever probing the mysteries that lay ahead. As they journeyed, the ship's sensors picked up an anomaly unlike any they had encountered, a world suspended in a bubble of time, untouched by the passage of ages. Here the stars shone in a frozen tableau, their light a tapestry of moments caught in eternity's embrace. "Fascinating," Mira murmured, her gaze locked on the data streaming across the console. "A temporal stasis, but what's causing it?" Elias considered the display, a thoughtful crease etching his brow. Perhaps a remnant of the Weaver's interference, or an artifact of another order entirely. The ship descended through the shimmering veil that encased the planet, its presence a ripple in the timeless calm. Below, the landscape unfurled in pristine stillness, an ocean of crystalline sand, undisturbed by wind or weather. They landed at the edge of an ancient city, its towers piercing the sky, each structure a monument to a civilization lost in time. As they stepped onto this silent world, the air sang with an energy that thrummed beneath the surface, a current waiting to be unleashed. "There's something here," Elias said, his voice a hushed reverence amidst the quiet. "Something powerful." They moved through the city, their footsteps whispering on the glassy ground. Statues of forgotten rulers lined the streets, their eyes set eternally upon a horizon that never changed. It was a place of stories untold, histories woven into the fabric of the stilled air. Their path led them to the heart of the city, where a colossal sphere hovered above an open plaza, its surface a shimmering cascade of light and shadow. It was a beacon, a relic of incalculable power. The source, Mira breathed, awe and caution mingling in her expression. But why was it left here, untouched? Elias approached the sphere, feeling its energy pulse in time with his own. A safeguard, perhaps, he speculated, or a key to something greater. As his hand brushed the sphere, the air around them shivered, the temporal bubble rippling in response. Memories of the place unfolded in his mind, visions of a civilization that had harnessed the sphere's power to halt the flow of time, preserving their world at the brink of disaster. But the stasis had endured too long. The city was a relic, its people vanished into the echoes of eternity, their legacy a cautionary tale etched into the sands. "We can release it," Elias said, understanding dawning, "restore the flow and let the world breathe again." Mira nodded, her determination mirroring his. "We have to. It's the only way to honor what they left behind." Together they reached for the sphere, their combined touch a catalyst that sent a wave of energy cascading through the city. The air thrummed with a crescendo of motion, the world awakening from its slumber as time's embrace resumed. The sky shifted, stars blinking with renewed light as the city exhaled a breath held for centuries. The statues, too, seemed to sigh, their silent vigil complete. Elias and Mira stood amidst the transformation, a satisfaction settling over them as the world began anew. It was a renewal, a cycle reborn from the ashes of eternity. As they returned to the vanguard horizon, the city faded into the distance, a testament to the enduring spirit of life. They had not merely repaired the past, but had woven it into the future, the threads of destiny stronger for their journey. With the ship once more among the stars, their path unfolded in the ever-expanding tapestry of the universe. Worlds awaited them still, each with secrets to uncover, each a verse in the eternal song of creation. For Elias and Mira, the journey was far from over, their roles as guardians a perpetual voyage through the nexus of all that was and could be. And so they flew, explorers on the tides of destiny, their story woven into the very fabric of the cosmos. Part 7. The Silent Symphony. The vanguard horizon sped through the galactic current, its sleek form cutting through the cosmos like a needle stitching the endless fabric of stars. Within, Elias and Mira stood before the expansive viewport, gazing into the infinite, where mysteries beckoned with silent allure. Their next destination lay veiled within a nebula, a gossamer cloud of swirling gases that enveloped a cluster of worlds. As they approached, the colors shifted and danced, a symphony of light refracted through cosmic prisms. In the heart of it all, a world sang, a melody that thrummed just at the edge of perception, drawing them in with an irresistible pull. "Do you hear it?" Mira asked, her voice barely above a whisper, as if the very act of speaking might shatter the delicate sound. Elias nodded, entranced by the ethereal notes that seemed to resonate with his very soul. "It's like the planet itself is alive with song." The ship descended into the nebula, the swirling mists parting to reveal a planet rich with verdant forests and crystal-clear seas. The song grew stronger, a harmonious resonance that vibrated through the hull, converging into an aria of the unreal. "This is extraordinary," Mira breathed, a sense of awe painting her features as the melody enveloped them. "It's as if each element, every particle here, contributes to the whole." They landed in a clearing where the atmosphere was thick with the planet's symphony. The sounds floated around them, a complex arrangement that blended the rustling leaves, the lapping waves, and the subtle hum of the air into a single, cohesive entity. As they stepped outside, a new chorus joined the symphony, a gathering of luminescent beings, their translucent forms weaving through the trees. They moved with a fluid grace, each motion a note in the grand composition. "Are they communicating with us?" Elias wondered aloud, captivated by the beings' luminous dance. Mira closed her eyes, letting the sound wash over her. "I think they're inviting us to join their symphony," she said, the realization blooming within her. Together they opened themselves to the music, their thoughts melding with the rhythm, emotions translating into harmonies that fit seamlessly into the planetary song. It was a communion of essence, a dialogue beyond words. Through this exchange, Elias and Mira gleaned the planet's history, a world once threatened by the fractures they had encountered elsewhere. Yet here, the inhabitants had chosen a different path, transforming discord into unity, weaving their identities into the fabric of existence itself. The luminescent beings shared their wisdom, their melodies conveying tales of resilience and harmony. They imparted a crucial insight that every world had its song, a unique composition that could stabilize its essence if threatened. "We can use this," Elias said, feeling the weight of newfound understanding. "A way to heal, to bring harmony where chaos reigns." Mira nodded, her eyes shining with shared purpose. "We'll share their symphony with others, integrate their melody into the thread of our mission." As they prepared to depart, the beings encircled them, their light a gentle embrace. The song intensified, a crescendo of gratitude and farewell that echoed through the nebula as the vanguard horizon ascended. Back on the ship, Elias and Mira felt the lingering harmonies within them, a new thread in the tapestry of their adventure, one that would guide them toward the next horizon. The nebula faded into the distance, its parting gift a reminder of the power of unity and the beauty of a universe that sang in myriad voices. For Elias and Mira, the journey would continue. Each world, each note, a step in the dance of creation. As guardians, they would carry the chorus of countless worlds, their legacy woven into the silent symphony of the stars. Part 8. The Resonance of Stars Calls.